kind of crazy what you're gonna hear, but last month I did 28 cities in the US in 14 days.
You're making me sound like I was your age, I didn't have a clue. You're way ahead of me. You're way. Writing does two things for you. It establishes you as a leader. The second thing that happened is after I trained 5 million leaders in every country in the world.
Should really run for president one day. Really.
They wanted me to run. That was the first year that Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton were running. You're very passionate about what you do. It's what I've loved about you. From day one, I've said, oh my gosh, I knew, nothing you're doing is surprising me. I knew you would be highly successful from day one. Hey, come here, buddy. Oh my gosh. Spencer, how are you? Hi. So nice to see you.
I love you so much.
How are you, my friend?
So happy to see you.
Oh my gosh.
It's remember Florencia, right?
I do remember. How are you? Are you doing well?
Very well. How are you?
I started thinking, this is very interesting. Why is more than 80% of my customers US based? Even they speak Spanish, and it's because, like, it's interesting. Like, there are very few people, Spanish speaking people, that give personal development and business conference in the US. So I started focusing more there, and right now I have my largest community is, interestingly enough, US based. So right now I'm touring. I'm doing a lot of in-person conferences. It's kind of crazy what you're gonna hear, but last month I did 28 cities in the US in 14 days.
28 cities in 14. Now you're
Yeah.
making me sound like a but you have to be traveling private to do that.
Yeah. I have. I got a plane last year to be able to do that. Yeah.
Good.
Not as beautiful as yours, but.
So when I was your age, I didn't have a plane.
But
You're way ahead of me. You're way. So how many people would you have spoken to in all those events then? I mean, it was 28 cities.
yeah, it was 7,000 people.
Yeah, okay.
Close to 7,000. 6,900 people.
When they get in their mentorship program, do they get all of your resources free?
Yeah. They get like all my resources free, and we do like they enroll and they have 3 different processes. The first one, it's an online process which they get all the resources for free, and also they get access to a step-by-step process in terms of how to get well positioned online and how to start an online business, just to get their first customers and get an idea on how an online business works. And then the second thing that they do is they get life experiences. Exactly.
How many of those do you have a year for?
4.
Quarter life experience.
Yeah, we do a quarterly life experience. So this is one of them, business leader. The one that in Florida, we're doing one in September, and then the one in December. That's the other
That's
one.
another life experience.
That's another in-person life experience. You have no idea the impact that you have caused in my life, and for me, this past decade has been.
God brought us together.
God brought us together.
Yeah, well, that's the way it is in life. You have to get in, mix it up, work it, take action, and then you begin to find. You find your way, but you have to get out there and do it to find your way. You can't stand back and find your way. You're doing it really, really well. Now, are you writing a lot now? Books?
I haven't. I wrote a book last year, but it was a small one that I give for free in my conferences. I just give away a book to everyone that attends. But it's a small one. I haven't been writing, to be honest.
You're doing a lot of work. You're traveling. Yeah. You're building a company. You're speaking. So I understand that you don't have a lot of time, but you need to carve out a little time to do it right. Because remember, writing does 2 things for you. It establishes you as a leader. When people are an author, who's written a book. But the second thing, your books start going out where you want to. So, wow, my books paved the way for me to go everywhere. Because because they're all over the world now. So that allows you to gain traction with new audiences. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I promise you, when we see each other in December, I'll show you what I've done in terms of writing. But I'll commit to it. What do you believe have been maybe the key decisions that have really helped you grow and make an exponential growth in your career?
The exponential growth that we've had is probably a result of three things. One is we provided resources. And resources, once you provide resources for people, you become a partner with them. It's just, I made a determination when I was quite young, your age, that I wouldn't speak without having resources. The second thing is just developing a company or an organization to support it, to make sure that I never really started to try a company. I just got an idea and it got too big for me to handle, so I had to go start a company for them to kind of be support to it. You know what I'm saying? And then developing a coaching company.
That was a breaking point, right? Like
We
doing the Maxwell certification.
51,000 countries now.
Wow.
68 countries. I can go nowhere without coaches.
You were doing transformation in many countries, right?
Yes. Transformations. What happened is after I trained 5 million leaders in every country in the world, Spencer, that's where they learned leadership skills. Okay? We trained them in leadership skills so they could lead effectively. And I came to the conclusion after doing that for 19 years, and that's when I went from training leaders, and we still train leaders, but from training leaders to focus on transformational leadership. Transformation, like trained leadership, is about leadership skills. Transformational leadership is about values, having the right values in your life. Because if I have good leadership skills, but I don't value people and I don't have good values, I'll manipulate them, I'll take them and use them for my advantage. So we see that. We see bad leadership everywhere. Well, bad leadership is a result. And
That's what moves you most right now, right?
but, yeah, totally, because that's where the life change comes. We see a lot when leaders who are really skilled in leadership begin to do the right things for the right reasons, they really benefit their people. Now the people prosper. They prosper because the leaders.
Apart from the president's invitation, what else needs to happen for a country to be able to go through the transformation program?
Well, what we do is we go to the top 8 streams of influence, government, business, education, media, arts, health, and sports, and religion. And we go to the top 10%. And we get buy-in from them. Because what we've discovered is that to be successful, you have to go to the top. Because influence filters down in a culture. It doesn't filter up. So if you go to the bottom 10% of our culture, honestly, it just reached 10%, it doesn't go up. You go to the top 10%, it'll go up. And so we understand how influence works. Is going to be my leadership culture. Because all leaders have to establish a culture with their team, company. And so the book has 12 pictures or distinctives or characteristics or qualities of what a high road leader looks like. And then what happens, you share that with your team and they begin to say, now this is how I need to behave. This is the kind of person I need to be. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Right now, we are gonna offer a leadership camp. So I came up the day before yesterday with a name, which is Eagle.
Eagle?
Yeah. And It's growth leadership experience. Yeah, it's a boot camp. It's called the Eagle Boot Camp. For something interesting that I've been thinking a lot about since I've been traveling a lot and doing a lot of conferences in different parts of America, of the continent. The mentality changes a lot. So the Latin mentality, it's they need to learn about paying a higher price. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because the mentality that I see very often, not everyone has it, but very often, they want a high reward with a low price.
Yes.
So I always tell them that if you want a high reward, you need to pay a high price. You need to be consistent with it, and you have to like stay focused and just like everything that's worthwhile is up here, right?
That's right. Yeah, the subtitle of High Road Leadership is bringing people together in a world that divides. Wow. You can tell that's hot right now. And I purposely did it because the elections and both leaders of both parties divide the people. Neither one of them are high road leaders at all. So it's a felt need in America.
Yeah.
It really is.
I know that you have talked about this before, but you should really run for president one day. Really. I know that you have said no, and that a lot of people have asked you, but why? Why don't you serve the world? you know,
they asked me in 2016. They wanted me to run. That was the first year that Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton were running, and they wanted a third party candidate.
Oh wow!
And so they came to me and asked me to be the president, to run for it. And I came to the conclusion that as a third party candidate, you can't win in America. It's a two-party country. It was at the same time that happened, I was beginning to think of doing transformation for nations. And I honestly feel that I can get more accomplished doing transformation for nations.
I remember the first event that I did. The first event that I did, I made all the possible mistakes. The day before, Aaron, I took John for dinner, and he had something that fell that fell bad on your stomach. You remember?
Yeah.
That we went to a restaurant and you ordered a duck with tamarindo mole.
Yeah.
So you were a little bit suffering the day of the event.
You
were
dying.
I was dying. Yeah. Oh my God.
You're very passionate about what you do. It's what I've loved about you. From day one, I've just said, oh my gosh. Nothing you're doing is surprising me. I knew you would be highly successful from day one.